welcome back. As you can see, we're back in the truck. Today we're going to be using some silver wire to make chain links. So we're going to be using popsicle sticks and dowels. One's a little more long, oblong, I would say. And of course, the dowel's round. So we're going to be making two separate chain links, and then we're going to be putting them together. Probably not in this video, but definitely along the way. So let's get started. So this is making a chain. We're going to be making a chain for this pendant. We're going to be putting the loops through one of two of these hooks, and then we'll have a nice pendant with a nice chain. Alright, so first we're going to start with the popsicle sticks. Now I had already started with a couple just to see how they looked, so I'm just going to slip this back into here. Now when you are wrapping this, you don't want to do it too tightly, because it can actually compress the wood and make each link as you keep going down smaller and smaller just by a little bit. But by the time you get to the end, this end one will be a lot smaller than this top one. So you want to do it tightly, but not so tight that you're compressing the wood. So you just want to keep going. So I just cut it there. I think this should be enough. Now I put this staple up so that I could actually use it as a kind of guide. So I just bend the metal, kind of loop it around the staple, and then as long as I keep it pressured, it won't come undone, and then I can just keep circling around. We'll cut it off there. So now I've got one of long and one of circle. And now we're going to cut them off. Alright, so we're going to be cutting these off of the wood. So what are we going to be using? Are we going to be using this? No, that's silly. Are we going to be using this? Closer. Normally I would be using one of these with a couple of blades, but today I feel like using this. It's a Dremel with a cutting blade. Fairly quick. And some slow motion action. Yay! So let's get this going. So, we're going to be using the Dremel. And the Dremel, normally we would be using a jeweler's saw. but that's very slow. It's accurate, and I do enjoy using the jewelry saw, but I think for videos, it's not, it's too slow. So, I'm going to be using a Dremel, and I'm going to be using a very thin blade. Now, I think they might be able to go a little bit smaller than this, but this is the thinnest that I have, and if you actually look at the difference between these two blades, you can actually see how much of a difference there is. This one's fairly chunky and this one's a lot thinner. So the reason that you want a very thin cut is because you want the two pieces of metal, you don't want to lose too much metal, and you will lose a little bit with any type of sawing. Jeweler saw is, I think, the peak of perfection when losing material, because it's very, very thin. But I think this will do the same. It'll help me not lose as much material and keep a nice straight cut, so that I can just quickly file the two sides and bring them together for the soldering. Now I have individual links, and all I need to do is solder them. Now let's go to the circles. Dang, that metal gets ridiculously hot ridiculously quickly. I'm over here freaking burning myself. You can actually see the lines of the metal. That's not nice. Alright, so these are all done now. They're all individual rings now. So, we're going to leave these on the stick for right now, because these are going to be our connectors. So, in the next video, because I think this video is going to be done for tonight, we'll see where the editing goes. But these I'm going to solder individually, and I think these deserve their own video, and that's why I'm kind of separating it a little bit. I might start it, but again, we'll see where the editing lands us. Alright, so a quick teleport home, and we're going to clean up these rings. So what I'm basically trying to do is get these to connect as closely as possible. So I'm filing to make it flatter, and then pulling them together so that they'll stay together. Let's continue. Alright, so, unfortunately, that's going to be the end of this video tonight, and this week, but I've got 44 individual rings for the circles, and 28 of these long ones. So next week we're going to be starting with soldering, and I'm going to be soldering all of the long ones, and I'm just going to be getting them together and then soldering them and then stretching them out so that they're uniform, and then I'll be attaching them with the circles. So that's going to be an exciting episode. I really enjoy doing this type of work because it's very tedious, I think would be a word for it. But I enjoy the repetitiveness of it. So we'll start soldering them next week. So if you liked this video, hit that like button, and if you really liked it, hit that subscribe button, so then you can get notified of any videos that I'm making. So far I make videos once a week, every Sunday, so hope to see you then. Have a wonderful evening. Ooh, this is very satisfying. I love doing this. See these? Yay! Hooray!